Konnichiwa, Shredheads, and welcome to Questions and Comments 14. The first comment we have is by Chris Quire, and he says, Aaron Rodgers, question mark? And yes, we are brothers. I taught him everything he knows about football, and you know, he owes me a crap ton of money. Come on, give me that money, Aaron Rodgers. Come on, bro. And next question, next comment, question. Half the Beast music, no music logo, okay. Oh wow, is that a genuine Chinese Klon centaur poking into the frame? Oh yes, definitely is genuine, bona fide Chinese Klon centaur. I paid a pretty nickel for this thing, and it's an awesome pedal. It's a great boost pedal, has crap tons of volume to put through any of your amps or any of your DAWs, anything that really needs crap tons of volume to really push whatever you're doing. It really makes anything you're pushing into beast mode, more or less. It just gives it that extra push. It's got like almost double the amount of volume you would get through with an overdrive, and it doesn't clip, so it has this kind of natural, transcendent quality to it. Just as a boost itself, it's a great pedal. But if you do miss the clip, go back to the Tube Screamer. Tube Screamers are great too. It gives you that square wave that goes into the amp and really makes it edgier sounding, but the boost makes it more of what you really want, more of the amp that you're using. And I think that's what the Klon does really, really well. If you want to get the original Klon, go for it, but the Klon is just as good in my opinion. Okay, next one, Dirk Digler, and this is on the Whammy DT video, and he asked me, can you tell me what Fender you got there? Absolutely love it, and thank you so much for commenting and questioning. This is just a big old eBay guitar, more or less, Partscaster. It has a Mexican Fender body, Mexican Fender neck, jumbo frets. This is pretty much the standard size Fender neck. It's got Fender locking tuners up here, as you can see. And these tuners are freaking awesome. I've had other locking tuners and they have not held up really well. But these babies, they just work really, really well. I would probably even put these on a different brand guitar if I had one. Anyway, it's got EMG 60, 81. These are both great pickups. You get a crap ton of sound out of it without getting all that noise. And that's what I like about active pickups. EMG 60 has that kind of bell-like quality. It's not as full as something like the 85 sounds, but it has a nice bounce to it. It's more, I don't know what to say. It's more mid-rangier than bassier with the 85, and the 81 just screams, so it's a great little pickup here. It's got the Blade Runner bridge. I've been using the Blade Runner bridge for like, I don't know, 15, possibly 15 years, I don't know, and I really like the Blade Runner bridge. It just works really well. The first one I had kind of rusted, and it was unusable, so make sure you oil the crap out of your Blade Runner bridges. You know, do maintenance on it. Like, I never oiled it, so I oil this one like every couple months, and it stays in tune pretty well, and it has just the perfect amount of dive bomb you would need, as well as the perfect amount of upward momentum if you want it. I'm more of a dive bomb guy, and it works really well for dive bombs, but when it comes to moving it up, I don't really care as much. I just want it to stay in tune and be able to dive bomb, in my opinion. And the pick guard here is a Jim Root style Stratocaster pick guard I found off of eBay, and honestly, like, it's a good pick guard. I like how clean it is, but I'm not really a big fan of this being in the way as much. So if I make another guitar, which I'm thinking about doing with just a white version of this, and I'm gonna move this down here and then get rid of this baby, and then put maybe like a Les Paul toggle switch on here, because the wiring for this is just stupid. I don't know why they decided that. And is that everything on this guitar? Here's the battery on the back. You've got three prongs here to keep it all going together, and that's pretty much it. Oh, a DiMarzio strap here. I love the DiMarzio strap. It's just super easy to put on and take off, and it locks together really, really well, and it works. Okay, the next comment, he says, from Rockin' Movies with Tyler. Can the grunge pedal do metal? And that's the video it's on, and he says, have the Digitech version, it's badass as well. Never had a chance to check it out with a Klon, and that also sounds badass. The Digitech stuff is really good. The whammy, I cannot live without. I cannot say enough about Digitech. They make great stuff. I haven't tried the Digitech Grunge. The only grunge I've had is the DOD back here, and it is an awesome pedal. It has a crazy amount of saturation and girth and just distortion to it, and it has a very snarly type of sound to it. And I'm guessing the Digitech sounds just like that. And I want to play that one day in the future. And the Klon, just like I said earlier, just makes everything even more beastlier, and it really helps push that pedal, or just anything you put it in front of. Boosting, I kind of like the boost more than overdrives nowadays. I cannot deny. The next one comes from Marco Lugio, and this is from the Does the Dime Distortion Sound Like Dime? He said, I thought I would never live to see a bad MXR pedal. And I agree with you. I've played a lot of MXR pedals, and they've all been really, really good. I don't know what it is about the Dimebag Darrell distortion pedal, but it is just an infamous pedal. And I've heard rumors that it was rushed at the time they were creating it, and it's not exactly up to snuff. Even with, I'm not even sure if Dimebag really cared enough to be like, oh yeah, this is good. I kind of remember him being on tour at the time. Maybe he was just too not focused enough to really like dial in his sound with the thing. But if you want to hear more about the history of the Dimebag distortion pedal, check out Ola England's video on it, and he talks pretty elaborately on the Dimebag distortion pedal. And in my opinion, it wasn't the most focused on product at the time, and it really needs, I wish Dimebag was still alive, and because it really needs a revision. It's not the Dimebag distortion it should be. Honestly, I think the Metal Zone up here, right here, this infamous pedal does Dimebag better than the Dimebag distortion pedal. And that's because the Metal Zone has a crazy amount of distortion, and it's very edgy sounding, very much like Dimebag Darrell. The first time I played the Metal Zone, I'm like, yeah, this is Dimebag. But the next question comes from, next comment comes from Fusion. He says, challenge, combine X Inferno pedal with Electro Harmonics Deluxe Big Muff PI. And this is on how heavy is the X Inferno pedal. I would do that if I had the other pedal, but to be honest, I think it would be a huge amount of noise. What I heard is that the X Inferno is a clone of the top boost pedal, and that pedal is very, very noisy itself. And just adding a big muff to it would just make it even more bigger and fatter sounding, and just noisy, very, very noisy. Okay. This is on the Marshall DSL 100 unboxing video, and this is from Steph Kiern, hopefully, or Kern. Hopefully I said your name right. Hey man, can you confirm the third cable in the box was a speaker cable? And yes, it was. Almost every head I've ever bought, especially from Marshall, has come with a speaker cable. I think even the cab itself came with a speaker cable. They really, they really don't nickel and dime you with it. They just give you what you need, and it works. Can't say that with every company. Anyway, Raika Souza says, this one or Orange Crush 12 on the does the Marshall MG15 sound good? And I would say, I think the Marshall MG15 is actually better functionally because it has the channel switch, and that makes practicing a million times easier. I do like the Orange Crush 12 a lot. It's got a fatter sound to it. Like if you're looking for a nice big fat orange sound, go with the Orange Crush 12. Or if you don't really care about the switch and you just like to go between using your volume knob to get the clean channel or the distortion channel, the Orange Crush 12 will work really well too. But I think overall the Marshall MG15 is just a very functional amp, and I think you can't really go wrong with it. It's a great amp. Next one, Paul Henderson. I think this is the last one as well. Okay, thanks for mentioning once again. Don't worry about the reading part. I understand not everyone has time to do 100 takes, and I find spontaneous reading natural. Mistakes spice up the video and make it more fun. Yeah, I totally agree. That's why I like to do videos where I'm just kind of going off. It's a lot funner for me, and personally I like to watch people just improvise, in my opinion. I've been dabbling a little bit more with some of the more scripted videos, and I want to see where those are going, but as for right now, I like to just do it spontaneously. It's fun. Hope not to be mean or something. Some people say your guitar is out of tune. Sometimes I hear it, sometimes I don't. In my case, I don't even use tremolo as much as you do in my Strat, and yet it goes out of tune. Maybe I jinx myself on my guitar. I understand you might be tired of that matter question, but I'm curious how that happens. Maybe you don't tune your strings too often while recording the footage, or the guitar tends to go out of tune. I have a problem with my James Hetfield Explorer copy on E1 string. On tuner, it tends to go over a few cents too high when I'm close to perfect tuning, and then it snaps, so I have to tune it a bit lower. Almost perfect, but not perfect. And I changed stock ones to the Frame Warwick tuning keys. The problem persists. This is the problem with a lot of guitars, is that they're kind of slightly off, and guitar itself, the instrument, is not really, there's so many variables with the guitar that tuning is not 100% perfect all the time. For me personally, I think the biggest problem is that, let me start with this guitar right here. Yeah, this is the guitar that gets all the hate when it comes to tuning stability. And that's because when I first started the gear reviews, I did everything in C standard because I was really into C standard, and I think I was using the wrong set of strings as well, which is a big problem. And this wasn't intonated as well. And lately I've moved on to different set of strings. So I put this in the E standard now, and I need to intonate this again. The problem is it's just intonation to me is the most boring thing possible on guitar. And eventually I'm going to intonate it though, and we're going to get this baby back working. But that's the biggest problem I had with tuning stability, and I think that's why so many people hate the tuning on that guitar, and that's why I get so many comments on it. As for this one has far less comments about the tuning, and I think the problems with this one is the floating bridge on this. It tends to, it's not perfect. I'm not gonna say. Okay, the floating bridge. Sorry, I think I'm coming down with cold. I don't know. I'm taking a crap ton of vitamin D. So I think the problem with this one is the floating bridge. Either it's going up or down, so there's a big variable with that. I think it's the best bridge I've had so far, but it depends on what you're doing with it, because you can bend like this and it will move the bridge slightly up, so you're not getting exactly perfect. Or if you're leaning on the bridge at all, it's going to raise up the pitch even more. I intonated this one, but it was a while ago, and another big problem with guitars in general is that weather really affects the wood, and you really need to like keep on with your guitars at least like 3 or 4 times a year when the seasons change, and redo the truss rod as well as re-intonate it. I tune on every single video I do beforehand, but I can't be 100% perfect with the tuning. I try my best, but it's a journey, and planning on just making it a more of a priority in the future. But thank you so much for your question, and thank you so much everybody for coming and commenting and questioning and watching this video. Thank you so much. And by the way, if you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comments below. Thank you so much.